Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to understand how to create ClickUp tasks for Calendly Invitee. So are you also using Calendly for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I'm using Calendly for my business, and I wish that as soon as a new invitee is added in my Calendly account, automatically a task should be created in my ClickUp account too. For this we are going to create a connection between Calendly and ClickUp. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So in Pabbly we have the concept of trigger in action. For trigger we are going to use Calendly, and for action we are using ClickUp. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, follow me through the screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to learn how to create ClickUp tasks from Calendly Invitee. So to do this, I have already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I am an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button right over here which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create ClickUp tasks for Calendly Invitee. And then we are going to click on create. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. By this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now we are going to select our trigger application, which is Calendly, because I want that as soon as a new invitee is created in my Calendly account, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as invitee created user. And now we are going to click on this connect right over here. And as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Calendly account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then connect with Calendly. And yes, you can see that we have successfully created a connection between our Calendly account and our Pabbly's workflow. This was very easy because I have already logged in my Calendly account. So it is always advised to log in your applications before starting with the automation. It makes the procedure easy. So as you can see that now it is asking me for the organization. So I'm going to select it as this only. You can read the help desk and it is saying select an organization. So over here if you have multiple, you are going to get the options to select one. And now for the user, I'm going to select the user as demo user. And now we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that it is saying waiting for response. So we have to do a test submission in order to capture the response. So to do this, first we are going to open our Calendly account. And as you can see that this is my Calendly account and over here is my booking page. So I'm going to copy this link and then we are going to open this in a new tab to do a test submission. And now we are going to book a 30 minutes meeting. So to do this, first I'm going to select the date, which is 18th of June. And for the time, I'm going to select it as 2 p.m. And then we are going to click on next. And now it is asking me for some more details. So I'll enter the first name as demo, last name as user, email as demo@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. And then we are going to click on schedule event. And yes, you can see you are scheduled. And over here are all the details of the event. So this means that Calendly has sent the details to our workflow. Pabbly has captured the response and triggered the workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured these details or not. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the same details. Over here, you can see the email. We are going to move on forward. Over here, you can see the name. Over here, you can see the phone number. We are going to move on forward. Over here, you can see the end time. Again, we are going to move a little forward, and then over here you can see 30 minutes meeting. Over here you can see the start time. So with this, our trigger step is successful, and now we are moving on to our action step. For our action application, we are going to select ClickUp because I want that as soon as a new invitee is created in my calendar Calendly account, automatically a task should be created in my ClickUp account too. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as create task. And then again, we are going to click on connect. And as you can see, again, it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your ClickUp account, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to click on add a new connection. And now it is asking me for the API token. So you are going to read the help desk and it is saying log into your account. Click on the profile icon and at the above right corner settings apps, you can find the API token. So I'm going to open my ClickUp account and over here we are going to click on the profile picture and then we are going to go on settings. And now from the left side bars, we are going to go on apps. And over here, you can see the API token. So we are going to regenerate this so that we can get the fresh API token. And now I'm going to copy this and then we are going to paste this token in our workflow. And then we are going to click on save. And yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our ClickUp account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me the workspace name. So over here, you can see the name of my workspace is Pabbly's workspace. So I'm going to select same right over here. And now it is asking me for the space. So again, I'm going to open my ClickUp. And over here, you can see that this is the space I want to add the details, which is Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to select the same. And now it is asking me for the folder name. So I'm going to keep the folder name as meetings because I want to add it right over here. So I'm going to keep it as meetings right over here. And now for the list name, I'm going to keep it as Calendly. And yes, you can see that we have successfully updated all of these. And now it is asking me for the task name. So we are going to map this. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Calendly as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically our details will turn dynamic and change with every new invitee created in my Calendly account. So if I'm going to enter the task name right over here manually, suppose demo task, so this will not change with every new invitee created because I'm going to enter it as manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, it will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping. So I'm going to keep the task name as 30 minutes meeting. So I'm going to search for it and over here you can see it. So I'm going to map it. And now it is asking me for the description type. So I'm going to keep it as text content only. And over here, I'm going to enter the description. So I want the description to be, you have a meeting. So over here, after you have, I'm going to map a 30-minute meeting. So I'm going to search for it. And then we are going to map this. You have a 30-minute meeting with, and then I'm going to map the name, which is demo user. So I'm going to search for name. And over here, you can see the name. So over here, the description is you have a 30-minute meeting with demo user. And this will change with every new invitee created because the resource name will also change. And now for the assignee ID, I'm going to select it as demo user. You can assign it to anyone you want. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the tags. So this is not the required field. So I'm going to leave it as blank. And now it is asking me for the priority. So I'm going to keep it as high. You can select the priority according to you. And now it is asking me for the due date and the start date. So first we are going to read the help desk and it is saying enter the timestamp in milliseconds. But as you can see that we have received the response of the time in the UTC time zone. So we have to convert that time zone into the milliseconds first. So to do this, first we are going to add another action step right over here, which is date time formatter, which is a feature by Pabbly. So I'm going to search for same and then we are going to select it. This is the feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the date and time. And now the action event would be format date with time zone. And again, we are going to click on connect. And over here, we are going to map the date which we want to format. So I'm going to search for the start time and over here you can see the same. So I'm going to map it. And now we are going to select the to format which is milliseconds. So I'm going to move forward. And over here you can see timestamp in milliseconds. So we are going to select this. And now for the to time zone, we are going to select it as Asia, Kolkata because I am here in India. So I'm going to select all the required fields and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response. Over here is the result, which is the timestamp in milliseconds. So we did this for the start time. We are going to do same for the end time too. So instead of again repeating all this thing again, I'm just going to clone this step with the 3 dots here and then we are going to click on clone step so that I just have to change the start time with the end time and not much more. We are going to open this cloned step and over here you can see we are just going to change this start time. we are going to map the end time right over here. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to map it. And now after mapping this, we don't have to change anything else because these will remain same. And we are going to directly click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see here is the end time milliseconds. So this means that we have successfully completed our formatting. And again, we are going to open our ClickUp action. And over here, we are going to map the due date. So I'm going to map it from the response of my date time formatter. So over here, you can see the result. So I'm going to map this. And now it is asking me for the due date time. So I'm going to keep it as yes only. We are going to do same for the start date. Also, I'm going to map it from the result of the date time formatter. And now for the start time, I'm going to keep it as yes only. And now for the status, we are going to keep it as open only. And now we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that a task has been created in our ClickUp account too. So I'm going to open it and check that if the task has been created or not. Over here, we are going to go on Pabbly Connect, which is our space, then meetings and then Calendly. And yes, you can see 30 minutes meeting has been created. So I'm going to open this. You can see the date, the time that we entered. Over here, you can see the assignee and over here, you can see the description. You have a 30-minute meeting with demo user. So this means that my workflow is successful and I'll just test the workflow once. And this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So for this, we are going to open our Calendly and then again, we are going to copy this link and paste it in a new tab to book another meeting. And as you can see that this is the same page. So I'm going to enter the date and time different right now. For the date, I'm going to select it as 20th June. And for the time, we are going to select it as 3 p.m. And then we are going to click on next. And for the first name, I'm going to keep it as test this time. Last name as user. Email as test@pabblytudes.com. And for the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this time. And now after entering all the details, again, I'm going to click on schedule event. And yes, you can see you are scheduled. So this means that Calendly has sent these details to our workflow. Pabbly has captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new task in our ClickUp account. So I'm going to open my ClickUp account and check that if a new task has been created or not. This time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. We'll directly open our ClickUp account and check that if a new task has been created or not. So over here, you can see a new task has been created for 20th of June. So I'm going to open this. And yes, you can see a new task has been created. Over here, you can see that you have a meeting with test user. So this is the new name that we entered. Over here, you can see the new time and the new date. So with this, our workflow is successful. And I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For a trigger application, we selected Calendly. For the trigger event, we selected Invitee created. For the action application, we selected ClickUp. And then for the action event, we selected create task. I did all this because I wanted that as soon as a new invitee is created in my Calendly account, automatically my workflow should be triggered, the date should be formatted in milliseconds, and automatically a task should be created in my ClickUp account too. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here, you can see the two tasks created during this video. One for the 18th June 2:30 p.m. and one for 20th of June 3:30 p.m. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone the workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.